go.
Awesome. Let me refresh. Awesome. Here we go. Test, test, 1, 2. Volume seems good.
Yep.
Quality is nice. Oh man, those shoes are plastered all over that wall. That's crazy. Awesome. All right. Let me refresh one more time. And yeah, we should be good. So hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in for Tuesday's development stream. Just to begin with some housekeeping items, we have Mark on stream for today. He's our graphic designer in the office. He's sitting right beside me, actually.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And I do believe today he is doing some texture work, or is this clothing stuff you're doing?
Yeah, we have just a. Right now, I'm working on the hipster clothes right now. So
Hipster
just
clothes.
yeah, there's like shoes and pants and this shirt with suspenders and yeah, so it's kind of like an outfit of sorts. So I'm just going through and doing some texturing work on those pieces.
Oh, nice. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Nice to have you on here, dude. It's always nice to see some 2D artwork for a change, see how that reflects on the 3D models that people have been developing. Very nice. Today, earlier, we posted a tweet that has some of Umut's work, swimsuit, and some shorts, kind of to correspond with the recent heat wave that we've been having. If you guys want to check it out there, you can see his clothing design. Umut does so much stuff, and it's a shame that he's never available for streams. I'd love to get him on. I'm gonna ask him sometime soon, though, if he could ever pop on, because he's a hard man to get a hold of, but he does really good work. And yeah, there's that. Thank you again for tuning in last stream. Last stream was the one that we did the second gameplay stream with. In that one, if you didn't quite catch it, it is up on our YouTube, and I'll grab the link in just a second. But basically, we were able to see more of the interiors. We got to see some of the item and world interactions, as well as the day and night cycle. You guys already saw screenshots of Town Square at night, but you didn't see how it like kind of actively changed over time. Now for that stream, John had the clock on an accelerated schedule, so you got to see it quicker. But it was really cool. Just gonna hop on our YouTube and grab the link. Lots of feedback. We're definitely paying attention to people talking to us about it, seeing videos and reactions and things like that. So once again, we're going to try and implement some changes and fixes where they need to be before we stream more gameplay in the future. Here's the link finally. Sorry about that. But definitely way more stuff in the last video than on our May 29th one. The first one we did, we showed off a character creator and like what you would do with that, and we gave you guys a bit of a tour. But it was very nice to see some of the interiors looking pretty sharp, I must say. And seeing the inventory work with the lighting the cigarette, accessing the newspaper, as well as flipping a coin into the fountain, neat stuff. Definitely try and show more in the future. We will be showing more in the future. We just don't know when. If I hear of any updates about when we'll be doing another gameplay stream, I'll be sure to let you guys know ASAP. The karaoke system also looked pretty cool. I got extremely cold feet. I'm terrified to sing, but if I have to at some point, I suppose I will. But yeah, John also gave you guys a quick rundown of basically what you'll be doing for karaoke. He was in streamer mode, so even if he like selected a song, I think he did, it wouldn't actually play because streamer mode and identity is basically for those who, if they're live streaming or making a YouTube video, if you don't want the content ID system to pick up a song, it helps a lot in that regard. And plus, I'm not even too sure if we'd be able to stream using music like that. So in the future, we might have to do some like old public domain song or something like that. But yeah, it should be cool to demo that at some point. We also have one of our moderators hopping in the chat. Hello, Harry Grenade. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, coming out loud and clear. Cool. But yeah, check that out if you guys haven't seen it already. It was pretty neat. And yeah, while we're listening to your guys' feedback, as we did for the first one, we've made some appropriate fixes, and then we will do so again this time around when we get to the next one. So Nice to have you guys pop in for that sort of thing. I think we hit around 750 viewers, which is pretty neat. Um, yeah. And other housekeeping news, John mentioned he'd like to do a devlog probably this Friday. He's been up to his eyeballs in work, but yeah, he knows that he needs to do one for sure, and he's just been really crazy around the office. But probably Friday is what he told me. Um, and yeah, apart from that, I think that's all the housekeeping items that we have to go through today. Um, yeah, so Mark, I was wondering if I could ask you like what the specific process you're doing right now is, because all of this art stuff is usually way over my head, but it looks really cool what you're doing, changing the shoe.
Oh, so yeah, I
Uh,
just did before we started the stream, I was working on some shoes, so I'm just looking at they're all done now, but so we just have like a couple of different versions. So they're all on this little so each one has its own material. It's cool. It's in a square. If you can see it there now.
hey.
That texture makes up this shoe. And then on the right side here, actually, I'll just make another copy
Oh, neat.
just so we don't have so that we can check this out better. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
So
always looks crazy looking at these like 2D, textures that wrap around in 3D. It's crazy to me.
what
It's
we
like, how do
have
you do it?
going on, we have our shoe, and then over on this side to the left are some patterns of sorts. So I have this pattern. Uh, and I drop in this slot here. I'll show you as I'm dropping it. And basically I'll bring it back to its original colors so we can
Oh,
see. Okay, so now we got this funky kind of clown shoe looking thing. And so everything works in 3 channels, red, green, and blue. That's why it's colored this way. So now
hmm.
I can go into each channel. So I made this mask. I masked out all these pieces so we could just color those individual pieces. So the base of the shoe is down here. So there now I've made it yellow. So now we got
Oh,
this
cool.
funky, really funky shoe. Uh, so now you can,
Whoa, yeah.
so now, so now you can just go through and from this point you can make uh, a new. Well, let's just do a tan type of shoe, tan colored shoe. And we'll put that in there. So now we got sort of this tan color, and maybe we'll add some other. So now on each channel, so if we want the shoelaces to be more, it can go like that. They're a bit more brighter now, more like shoelaces.
Cool.
And
So you're
then,
basically just giving different color variations to these shoes and making sure that the textures are mapped correctly, I guess. I don't know if
yeah,
mapped is the right term,
sort of
but
just gives it a bit of color. So
neat.
actually, I kind of don't mind that the way it is now, but
Awesome.
so
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that this work is the kind of work that gets a bit tedious after a while, also depending on how many shoe colors you want to make, things like that. But
yeah,
it is pretty nice. Yeah, this brown scheme you got going on is actually pretty nice.
yeah. So I'm kind of digging this, bro. There. I think
Cool.
there you go. So now you've got a new shoe with some different colors on it, and then you save it out and make another one. I've already made a bunch, so I don't need to make any more. But from here,
Hmm.
I'm gonna move on to the shirt part. So I'll get that set up.
Nice. Cool. Let me, as you're getting that set up, try and answer a few of these questions in the Twitch chat. Also, thank you to the moderators for showing up to help answer questions. You guys rock. I see one about the website. Will we get a notice before the new website launches and the prices rise, yes, we'll definitely alert everyone that it will be the last chance to grab the pledge packages as they currently are, because it would be kind of annoying for those who only just could, use their new payment option and miss out on the deal. So basically, what's going to happen is the current plan is anyways with the new website is that we'll have more payment options and we will be able to add individual items up on the shop instead of giant packages. We will keep the packages as they are for a week and we'll keep them up alongside these new individual items. So if you want the rest of the car, you'll be able to purchase that individually, separately. But after a week, the packages will go away forever. And they're priced at a pretty nice deal right now. If you were to buy up each individual item to try and mimic that of a package later on, it would either be as expensive or more expensive. So you're actually getting a really nice deal the way it is right now. So yes, we definitely want to alert people that it is changing when the new website is up because we're going to be getting the ability to accept card payments without the use of PayPal because some people either don't have PayPal in their country or just can't use it for whatever reason. And we don't want to uh, single them out. Like we want them to be able to get in on the current pledges as they are if they already have the money and they simply can't access the purchase. So yeah, we'll definitely be advertising that. I'll probably get John or maybe I will myself post something in the announcement section on the forums, which should send out an email because that is definitely an important thing to be notified of. So TLDR is that, yeah, we'll definitely let you guys know what's going on when the new site is up and that people have, a week to grab the old old prices. Will PaySafe card be activated? It was actually in one of the, I think Devlog 17, John mentioned PaySafe. So yes, that is one of the things that we're looking to include. PaySafe sounds like a really cool option. I wasn't actually even aware of its existence until I heard people recommending it, and it seems pretty nice and convenient. So yeah, we are currently, I'll actually go into the forums and grab it for you guys just so you can reference it with what the big boss said, Devlog. So in the devlog 17 titled Step Inside of My Office under the section of the Worldwide Wait, John mentions credit cards, PaySafe, and more. Throw that in here. Cool. And yeah, just speaking of devlogs, for those of you just coming in now, John said he will probably get one up Friday. It's just been super busy with last week's gameplay stream and things like that. But yeah.
So Beach here, I can show you the next part of this if you want.
Sure.
Okay, so we've got this new shirt up. The hipster shirt's got this little cool bow tie. And then to the left of the screen in this square here, there's a blank square. Just has
Okay.
a default texture on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add we're gonna fill in these boxes that are down here in the bottom. There's some we're gonna fill those in. So we've got this texture, which will go into the color. This is like our base color texture. So we grab that and we're gonna stick it in this top area like that. And then we got this bright yellow thing, which is a roughness and metallic map. So we're gonna take
Oh.
that and we're gonna stick it in this thing called in the area called mask. And then we're gonna take this funky blue one, which is a normal map,
Ooh.
and we're gonna take that and we're gonna stick it in the last slot. So, and now if I drag this material, so that made this little material, which is our square, and I'm gonna put it on top of this shirt, and we've got somewhat of a shirt and
Yeah.
a pocket that's kind of screwed up. So we'll figure out what that is later. But there's our shirt. So we've made those parts, and then on the very top, this toggle switch open. So if I want to put like a logo or something on that, I'll put it in this top area. And right now it's got a bow tie, so I gotta If
Oh,
we want
yeah, that's true.
we want the bow tie to be a different color, I made this little color mask for the bow tie. So we can click on all of these check marks over here for this bow tie, and we're gonna stick that over there. And now we have all these bow ties everywhere, but that's okay, as we're gonna rescale it so it matches where the bow
Ooh.
tie is. So now we have this black bow tie, but now we can make it a red bow tie, like that. So now, as we can see, there's a bit of an issue somewhere around here near his pocket.
Yeah, I see that, huh?
So we'll get Motown on that to fix that problem.
But it's actually really cool. You could just select an individual piece, the bow tie. It seems that it's using the same like area as the bow ties on the big block you have on your left, I suppose.
Yeah, like it's using something on there is got a bit of an issue, but I'll leave that up to Motown to fix when I let them know about it.
Sure, no problem. If you need him now, we can grab him now. But if you can continue working, it's all good. But yeah, in the meantime, I see some more questions from the Twitch chat. Does the $30 with beta get me into Town Square? So basically, the founder pledge reward package or higher on the website, anything that has the quote unquote beta access item will get you into the pre-release content of Identity. So that's all 3 modules. And that is also the eventual beta that we'll have right before the full game is released. But yes, you'll need the founder or higher. So it's a $30 one or higher if you want to access Town Square. You will be able to access your download key once Town Square is up and running on Steam and it's available. It's gone through the verification process, sorry. And basically what will happen is on the new website, there will be a feature where you can log in to your Steam account while also logged into your Identity account, and you'll be given a key for that. I'll actually link the clip I have of John talking about this, which is pretty good. One moment. How do I get my Steam key? So it's a
Are those
very
overalls
hot question.
Those are gonna be suspenders, but
or suspenders? Yeah.
yeah, they're just I was just checking to see if the issue was on both of these, and it currently is. So anyway, not a big deal. It doesn't affect what I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, you can get the hipster shirt with either a bow tie or suspenders. So
Cool.
I will leave that as is, and I'll do his pants. I'll see what the pants look like.
Good idea. But yeah, thanks for showing up today, everyone. It's always cool to have you folks in the chat and see what the artists are up to. Um, In terms of when Town Square and future modules and things like that will be released, right now we have the task tracker. Some of you might be familiar with it already, but for those of you who are here for the first time, basically it shows all of the critical tasks that need to be completed before we can get the first iteration of Town Square up and available on Steam. And I say first iteration because it will be updated over time. We will add in more content later. Like one of the things that we want to do is add in the shooting range in the basement of the police station, so you can try out guns at some point. It won't be at launch, but at some point. And of course, we'll be throwing in more clothing, more furniture. We want to get the pool table playable at some point, but basically will be continually supported. And in terms of when the first iteration task will be released, once all of those tasks are completed on the task tracker, should probably link it in the chat. You will be able to, well, once all of the tasks are complete, we'll get it through the Steam verification process, which I've heard may take 2 weeks. I think you need a coming soon page for at least 2 weeks up on Steam before you can make your game available. But when that is all said and done, then you'll be able to, as I mentioned just previously, grab your download key. But yeah, we really only have the tracker to go off of right now. We do get some pretty nice updates from the developers from time to time. I know Cyber came into the call before we had the gameplay stream on Thursday and actually went pretty in depth about what he's been working on with the inventory system. which is pretty nice to have. I know him and Artur worked a lot on getting the shop system working and the inventory system functioning. Yeah, I like to check what he's working on now today. Haven't had a chance to really speak with him. It's been a busy Thursday after the holiday, as some of you might know. Sunday was Canada Day, and like we were supposed to get one day off of work, so that was yesterday. And we have the 4th of July quickly approaching. We won't have that off, but should be pretty cool to see some fireworks. It's always nice seeing all those cool light shows people do in the US. So yeah. These pants are looking pretty I don't know how to describe it, but I can almost tell what they would feel like if I were to rub my hands on them. It's like a particular texture.
Some sort of corduroyish texture, maybe like a thicker texture anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, someone already answered it in the chat, but yes, John said he will probably get a devlog up Friday. He's just been insanely busy with prepping for last week's gameplay stream. That was a lot of work just to make sure that nothing went wrong last minute, because you know those things can happen. And it was awesome how well it ran. It ran much better than the first one we did in terms of gameplay streams. And just this week has been super busy too. Coming in Tuesday and everyone's hard at work. But yeah, he said probably Friday. Um, oh, nice brown pants now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure out a color for these pants.
I mean, you just tried gray. I tried like a dark navy blue. Are these yeah, hip pants? I don't know, because they kind of look like a cross between jeans and sweatpants.
Yeah.
Nice.
There is a what looks to be a button, maybe, but
Yeah, I see what you mean.
somewhere that could be colored a different color, but for now we'll just leave it. So we got these pants here.
Ooh, someone in the chat. Sorry, I'm slow for the. I'm so far up, I have to scroll down. Someone asking about how well the game will run. Currently, the Steam page will definitely have a list of recommended and minimum system specifications. We don't know precisely what they will be until like we get the game packaged and we totally test it out, because the additions and the testing and the changing fixes, anything right now can set the performance slightly different than what the previous build was. So we will definitely make sure that we have a concrete list of those kind of system specs when we have the coming soon page done. For the recommended, it's a bit easier to give a bit of a few estimations right now, because we know what we want to hit, at least as far as the GPU side of things go. Back when we discussed things about the gameplay video, this was back in February, the crime and punishment video we had, we got to ask the devs what they wanted the game to run well on. In terms of GPU, we did learn that the GTX 1060 or equivalent is kind of the area we're shooting for like high detail 1080p. I'll actually throw this into the Twitch chat. We haven't heard too much in terms of minimum GPU, but we're estimating well, I don't even want to give that right now, but basically if you can run modern day games pretty well, with the settings and resolutions that you enjoy, then you will probably see a similar experience with the same settings and resolutions and identity. For minimum specifications, it's a little bit harder to do because we don't have any low-end systems I have one myself that I got that I'm really excited to test out Identity on. My quote unquote gaming rig at home is I have a Pentium and an RX 460. And my budget rig I have is a GT 1030 and an i3 2120. And I would love to share the results with you guys and pass it on to the devs as a supplementary thing. It's not official; it's just me doing an independent study. But I really like budget PCs, and it would be really cool to see how well Identity runs on those. But TLDR is that we will be able to get you guys more information about system specifications once our Steam page is up and running. It's a very solid question to have, though. You definitely want to make sure that you know what you'll need. Ooh.
So,
But yeah, these you find a good color thing will work well with these pants.
I just noticed, I noticed they're very shiny, so I gotta try and fix that
It's like
problem.
alligator skin.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
try and fix that problem.
Stever when identity confirmed.
Let's see.
Whoa.
So yeah, these are all like my file things I need to save for. And so now that I'll just re-import this piece and hopefully that it's this area right here where the mask is that I'm going to try and fix. And that will hopefully fix it. There. There, now they're not as
Nice.
shiny, these pants.
Yeah, that actually worked really well. They look
A little bit
just like plain
more,
material. It's nice.
a little bit more like corduroy pants now. These, yeah, this is like an army kind of green color for
Mm-hmm.
now. And so, so I need to make at least 5 different pairs of pants. So each time
Nice.
I'm working on 2 computers, so if it looks like I'm not doing anything, it's probably because I'm on the other screen
No,
that
it's fine, dude.
that nobody can see. Uh,
Cool. Speaking of clothing, we did have a discussion a while back about people like the devs were asked if you could sell your own line of clothing and how to produce it. I'm going to throw a few clips into the chat about that. It's been a while since I brushed up on that area of the game, but definitely for those that want to look into that sort of thing. You can't create your own custom tattoos, as far as I'm aware. You will be able to create logos and things like that, and certain like pattern designs for clothing, which is pretty neat. And I think there's more. You'll be able to customize vehicles. I don't think you'll be able to put on like custom decals or things like that, as it's also been a long time since I saw the prototype video for that, but we'll definitely try and offer customization for those sorts of things. In terms of town square, like ways to express yourself, there will be the Hack Me sign, which you can put on your own phrase and display it to basically the rest of the people in the server. There's the graffiti wall, which is a similar thing, except you're doing a picture. You'll be able to write books, paint paintings. You'll be able to submit both those things to the library slash art gallery. Um, Making your own apartment is going to be cool. You can express your like decorating your own apartment, I should say. housing it and furnishing it to the way that you see fit will be really cool. I can't wait to see what kind of ideas people come up with. Um, but yeah. The module that features vehicles is the third one, the racing module. We definitely don't have as much information about vehicles as we do the other aspects, because I know that we've had a series of like gun models made for Module 2. You guys probably saw the SWAT gear back in, I think, Devlog 16. No, 15, sorry. But I will definitely try and get more information on vehicles when I can.
Whoa, that's not the color we want.
Oh yeah, wow, bright orange, huh?
Not really what I was looking for. This is a better color here,
Nice, nice.
like a coffee colored pant. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3. We got 4 now. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like just the way these jeans are, like it's so thick around like the top, but then it like thins out kind of fast. It almost reminds me of like clown pants, and these are called hipster pants, correct?
yeah, they're hipster pants. My guess is
They're very baggy.
uh, they probably are tight to your legs near the bottom,
Yeah,
tuck into your socks or your shoes or something. Uh, would be my guess at how they fit.
it's
And
not a design I'm familiar with in terms of like its real world counterpart, but
like
it does look cool.
baggy on the top and
Just a little foreign to me, but very interesting nonetheless. Uh,
right now we've got army green and dark blue, dark brown, kind of a darker blue color. What else could we go with?
huh. Maybe just gray, unless you did that one already. I know you opened it up with gray, but it was when the pants were so shiny.
Yeah, I'll see what this color does for us.
Cool. Oh, someone asking about data transferring between servers. Uh, for Town Square going into the full game, it doesn't look like we'll be doing that because in Town Square you will be giving a lot of stuff for free. Like there won't be any currency in Town Square, so you'll be able to go into shops and just buy things. So if you head into the furniture store, for example, you'll just be able to take whatever they have and yeah, use it in your apartment, which should be pretty cool. Um, if there's like something really amazing in the art gallery, or like just some piece of literature that like absolutely must be preserved, we might like we have the tech to bring stuff over, but it's not really on our current like to-do list of porting your character from the modules into the full game. When we do have the full game, at least between official servers, some things will change, transfer, sorry. Um, Specifically like the appearance of your character and its cosmetics. Um, Not so much money or things like that. We don't really want players to amass a lot of currency in one server and then go to like a new server that might have just opened up and buy everything there. So money won't transfer for sure. At least that was the last time we checked up on that sort of thing. Pledge rewards, you'll be able to claim pledge rewards on each server you go on. Uh, Still don't 100% know if it'll happen for private servers. Some people are requesting the option to disable pledge rewards on private servers, and I do see the logic behind that if people just want a server where everyone starts at the exact same foundation. But at the very least, right now, it doesn't look like you'll be able to do that. But we are considering it. And yeah, I will go through the clip catalog and get a few past discussions about things transferring per servers. So here's one we had on January 11th talking about what will transfer. And for good measure, there's another one on January 23rd. In short, things aren't currently planned to transfer from Town Square to the full game, and not so much stuff will transfer between servers and the full game. Mostly just your the way your character looks and things like that, cosmetic stuff. Those pants look pretty nice.
Yeah, they're kind of it's a slate gray type of color. I just do a generic black pair, and I should be good to go.
Nice. Yeah, you found some really good color schemes that work well with this set of pants, for sure.
So now we have a bunch of different pants. I'll probably go through and fix the button at some point.
Okay.
So that the button stands out. It's not the same color as the pants.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry, I just caught up to the chat. I did get your question asked today. One moment. This is to EAG. Let me call up my archive notes. Actually, it was so recent I didn't even have a chance to document it yet. It's still my book. So we had someone ask about the upkeep fee for houses. This is for the full game. Apartments do not require an upkeep fee, but the houses do because they are on the server land, and we want a way to prevent people from buying a house and then idling forever so no one else can get the house. We don't want that to happen. And the question was, since houses are typically used, with more than one person, if you have a house, you probably have some co-owners. Will the system we have in place only ask the owner for the upkeep fee, or will there be a way to split up the fee between co-owners? And the answer I received was that initially in the full game, it'll just be one person, so they will take the payment from the owner of the house. But eventually, John will add a group payment option, so it will divvy up the bill easily, and you can each pay your respective share. So initially, you'll just be, if there's some sort of if your friend is like, hey, I'll live with you if, I'll pay this much, basically they'll just be giving you the money, and if they don't, you can kick them out. But yeah, and he also talked a bit about upkeep fees too, so I'll say that as well. So as mentioned, they exist to prevent idling with the house forever. They won't be a huge financial burden, so it won't be super expensive to pay the upkeep fee. It will be based on factors such as location and size of the house. We won't look at to like electrical or water, things like that. That's not a part of the game. But he did say that buying the houses will be pretty pricey. So it will be a big investment to initially get yourself into the house, but the upkeep maintenance fee will not be as bad as people are thinking, which is pretty cool to hear. Ooh, what are you doing here, Mark? This looks like a blood splotch on something. It's extremely dark.
I'm making a mask for those buttons,
Oh, cool.
is what I'm going to end up doing. So there, these 3 red dots are the buttons. So I'm just going to fix them a bit.
Nice. Ooh, another question about the SWAT module. Is it already in production? Some things have been created for the SWAT module. We have had people work on gun models in the past. Let me grab one of the previous devlogs. You will see an old SWAT uniform and devlog 15. And you did actually even get to see some shooting in the gameplay video back in February. But it's still not the focus. The focus is just to finish up Town Square because we really want that out and we want it working well. So that's like the primary like allocation of resources is just into finishing Town Square. But we have had some stuff done for SWAT in the past. So I threw in the link there to devlog 15, which does have a pretty neat SWAT uniform. Yeah, I think this is already clarified, but if someone purchases a pledge rewarded vehicle, you'll be able to claim it on all the servers that you go into, all of the official ones. Sorry, I cut it there. You'll be able to claim your pledge rewards on all of the official servers for sure. Still debating if we're going to give admins and private servers the ability to disable that. But yeah, if you paid real world money for something, we want to make sure that you can use it. Uh, but yeah, I hope you guys, oh my gosh, it's 4:43 already. Time flies. I hope you guys are all having a good day so far. Yeah, thank you for answering that, Grenade. Yeah, John said that he'll probably get one out. Friday is when he's planning to get the next devlog out. He's just been ultra, ultra busy. But he knows that he's got to get around to it. Um, yes, Kusuke, I believe I asked a question about the trains. You gave me one last time. Let me pull it up here. You asked if there will be departure or arrival times for trains. From what I learned when I spoke with John last week, trains will like stop temporarily at certain stations. They're not looking to have like at 8:15 it'll leave. I think it'll just be like every 5 or 10 or so minutes. He did say he'd like to include screens that'll show when it's departing or arriving soon, which would be cool. But that's about it. Nothing too complicated. Just kind of like Red Dead Redemption, I guess, is the game that keeps coming up in conversation when we speak about a train. I'll just run around, stop, and start again every now and then. But it's an aspect of the game I'm kind of looking forward to. It's going to be a good way for people who can't afford vehicles to get around. It'll be free to board the train. This is for the full game, of course, for those just popping in. But Yeah, it should be interesting. Let me hop back to the chat. Um, scrolling. Oh, will karaoke have different language subtitles at Town Square? That's actually a really good question. As far as I know, it's just in English right now, but it's, pardon me, it's something I'll write down and I'll try and get an answer for you next time, Tuscane. Will there be different language options for karaoke? Cool. Oh, I see you got the pants open in wireframe mode.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Spooky. Trying to find the buttons.
Yeah, I did them.
Whoa.
They're there, but if I zoom in closer, I have to bring my mask down. But so you can see they're there.
Whoa. Yeah, so like what exactly do you need to do for these pants now in order to make them function the way you want them to? Or is it good to go?
Yeah, like that. I did the buttons, but I'm just looking at. Should go back and fix them a little bit. See. Uh, my mask is a little bit big
Okay.
around the button, so I'm gonna go back and fix that. So redo that. But aside from that, those are the pants. I mean, those are the 4 types of pants. Fix up the buttons and
Hey. Yeah. It's just the design of these pants perplexes me. I've never seen hipster pants in real life. I know that they exist, but I'm not even sure if that's the correct terminology, but it's just they're so thick at the top and then so thin at the bottom. It looks uncomfortable. Ugh, but it's cool. Oh, a question. How will criminals and law enforcement work? It's a pretty broad topic to cover, but basically for police officers, you'll be able to walk into the nearest police station and sign in as an officer in the locker room. If there are too many officers already signed in on the server, you will not be able to log in because we don't want to have a crazy amount. It'll be proportional to how many people are currently on the server. This is for the full game also, by the way. There won't be any law enforcement in the first module, Town Square, but in the second module, the SWAT module, you will be able to be on a team of either SWAT or criminals, and you'll be able to fight over a bank. The criminals will try and get out with the money. SWAT will have to neutralize them. Should be really cool. But yeah, so in the full game, you'll sign in, and then you'll be able to pretty much uh, arrest people that are being troublesome. There are certain minor infractions you can catch people for. If a cop witnesses somebody speeding, they'll be flagged and you'll be able to pull them over and charge them. Um, for major crimes like murder, you won't need to witness it. You will be able to just arrest the perpetrator. And there is like a detective kind of role you can play that's kind of alongside the police role. You'll be able to get like a certain area like a waypoint on the map of where they are, not the exact pinpoint location, but a general area. I'll actually link some stuff in about the detective role because it does sound pretty cool. There's just so much, and I'm glad I have all of these because there's just crazy amount of content that only the developer, like the founders, I should say, have immediate access to. Let me find how do detectives collect and process evidence. This one looks good. Throw this in. But for criminal stuff, you can definitely rob banks. You can make drugs. Meth is going to be the hardest drug to make, where it'll need a an RV, sorry, and a lot of equipment. Actually, I'll throw that into. But it's dangerous. Like you can actually die if you do it improperly. Okay, so here's actually about the detective. The question was, how can you track down a murderer? Waypoint on map? Question mark. This will be cool. This was discussed in December. And then I'll get on some stuff about how to make the harder drugs in Identity. It's always so weird talking about drugs out of context because it sounds awful, but it's all relevant to the game. His coworkers always like, "What? What are you talking about, beach ball? Like, why? Nah, it's crazy."
Just an encyclopedia of drug paraphernalia.
It's all right. So, how difficult is it to make meth in game? This is the question. This discussion was recorded back in January. We talk a bit about the dangers and the necessity of having a Breaking Bad-esque RV, which is kind of cool. All right, no more clips for a while. Sorry for spamming the chat. But yeah, the whole topic of like the crime versus the law enforcement kind of aspect of the game is one of the biggest. Also considering that the developers came from Life and Arma mod, it was a core point of that's gameplay too. So it's a very like broad topic, and if you guys want to see more, you can Control F the word police or criminal, or I think criminals, on the Twitch clip page. There's a lot of previous discussions. Right now, I'm just in like town square mode so much that I've been failing to recollect some of the previous discussions, but I'm glad that I have all of them recorded. So definitely check out that page if you guys want to know more. Yeah, I hope you guys are all having a great time. 4:53 already, so we'll start to wrap up soonish. Ooh, yes. How big will the map be in the full game? We're going for 225 square kilometers, so that's 15 by 15 kilometers. The Q&A on our website actually only says 200. It's changed a little bit since then. We definitely need to update that when we get the new website out. But yeah, that's for the full game world. Pretty big. For town square, it's just the size of a town square. But as you guys have probably seen from the recent gameplay streams, it's got some space there. There's a lot of interiors you can go into, and we're looking at about 50 players per town square server. Will we be able to graffiti the train? That's kind of neat. I don't know. I think it would depend on whether or not we include like I can't speak today, a mural type wall, because that's kind of what we have going on in Town Square, where there is one wall that's dedicated to public drawings. You could just spray paint over another's work. There will be a cooldown period. You can't just immediately snipe someone's drawing. If someone spent a long time working on something cool, you can't just immediately go over it and erase it all. But interesting, spray paint the train. I'm gonna write that down as a suggestion because it is kind of cool. No promises, but I'll see what he says. It's gonna be really interesting seeing what kind of drawings people come up with in Town Square.
I know what type of drawings they're gonna come up with in Town Square.
I mean, yeah, but like there's some people that have never really put pen to pencil, so to speak, and some people are just wicked and they don't even know it. And having, a mechanic to play around with in the game, we might get to see some real Picassos or, just people that have already been working really hard at improving their skills. It's going to be really cool to see what kind of stuff people come up with. I did definitely like to highlight some cool work I see in the game. I'm still brainstorming with some of the plans, but I like to have some sort of creators corner on the forums where like every week I just take some paintings, books, spray paintings and things like that and just be like, hey, I really like these. These are really cool. Still working at the logistics, but I love to do something like that because it's fun. It's fun seeing what people come up with. What happens if you are a drug dealer on one server and a cop on another server? The thing about the police role is that once you're logged out of the police role, because you go into the locker room to sign in, once you sign out of the police role, you can literally go do crimes. Like it's not gonna like you aren't locked out from doing that, which is pretty neat. So if you want to be a cop by day and then go do some shady stuff after when you sign out of being a cop, feel free. You won't be restricted. Now, when you're signed in as a cop, we definitely want you playing the role properly. So there will be some restrictions. Like you can't go into like civilian vehicles. We want cops to strictly use the police vehicles required, and have like the proper attire and things like that. We don't want cops sliding people guns that they get from their job or anything like that. But yeah, you are free to totally be a drug dealer and a cop, just not the same thing at the same time, but you can use the same character and just do it at different times. That's totally fine. But yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. We got 2 more minutes to go. We'll try and get a few more questions in. Will you be able to stop the train? Also a good question. I want to say no, but I'm just gonna ask anyways because it would be pretty cool if you could do something that crazy.
That would, yeah. Be interesting to see the ways people would stop it.
Oh geez, yeah. And another one. How big is the game's file size? Ooh, that's a good one. I might have that archived actually. Perhaps not. Let me check the Twitch clips. File size. The last discussion we had about it was back on March 20th, and it might have changed by then. It probably has, but I'll link the most recent description in. Yeah, and I think that is about all we have time for. Yeah, so I'll let Mark finish up what he's doing here, but thank you for coming in to watch our graphic designer do some cool stuff with these pants and the shoes earlier. Really nice to see people work within Unreal Engine. Definitely a really cool program. Can do a lot of stuff And Mark is becoming a whiz kid at it. Really, he came in. I don't think you had any practice with Unreal before you came to this Asylum, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, well, your art skills are definitely helpful. I can't speak at all today.
I'm glad.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just cool seeing the process behind this stuff. And thank you all for coming out, answering or asking questions. I don't know. I have to go lay down after this, but if there are any questions that I didn't get around to, feel free to message Beach Ball on the forums, on the identity forums. You can message me on Discord, leave me a DM, I'll get around to it, or even send a whisper to this channel, Identity RPG, and I'll try to get your questions answered when I can. I usually just write them down, and every day I'll try and get a one-on-one conversation in with the boss, and that's when I can pitch ideas or recommendations or questions to him. So I'll try and get some for it next time, some answers for you guys. But yeah, that is about really it. Thank you again for the moderators for showing up to answer questions. You guys are awesome. Thanks to Mark for coming out and showing us all this cool stuff. And just as a quick recap, we're taking feedback that we've been receiving about the recent gameplay video. We'll definitely seek out improvements for the next one and try and implement some changes to make people happy because you guys are giving us some awesome recommendations. Still no word on when the next gameplay stream will be, but I will definitely let you guys know immediately the moment I get an A-OK on that. John mentioned that he would like to get a dev blog up this Friday. So he said probably Friday, hopefully. He's just been absolutely up to his eyeballs in work, which is why there hasn't been one up posted yet. And, we just had the holiday, Canada Day, and hey, 4th of July is coming up. So we won't be going for holiday for that because we're in Canada. That's where the office is. But can't wait to see some cool fireworks shows online of you guys who happen to be in the US. You guys have some pretty cool uh, shows actually. Motown coming from the US to work here in Canada. He said that the fireworks shows he saw, like we got nothing on the US. So, and I concede. Very true. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday if time zones are super different. And yeah, we will see you next time. I don't have anyone scheduled for Thursday yet. I think I'm gonna try and get Jade. And yeah, we will see you guys then. So have a great and safe night, everyone. Talk to you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye bye.